And hello, everyone. Welcome to another RSG D&D session. I am Finity, normally your dungeon master, but this time more of kind of a moderator of sorts. But we'll go ahead and get started. No full session today. However, we're going to have a little bit of a roundtable type thing. Just hanging out with you guys, answering any D&D questions that you may have, talking a little bit about character backstories as we're getting into kind of the next chapter of the group's adventure. And we'll kind of just take it from there. Thank you, Ranger. Ranger subbing for 3 months.
That did that automatically. I just logged in on the street, like boop, like oh, well, there we go.
So we're gonna do some just general discussion. Let me introduce the ones that are here today. First off, we have Mr. Ranger.
Howdy. We ain't found shit.
We have Mr. Corinth.
Hello.
And then we have Miss Ouchie.
Hi.
So, we'll talk a little bit about people's backstories. If you guys have any questions in the chat, go ahead and put them in there, and then we'll discuss.
I have to hairstyle. One moment.
And then I think he's joining us here. Is DPK here with us?
He's here, but he's not really here.
Yeah, I don't know if he's all set up.
I am not the droid you're looking for.
Okay, that is not the DPK we're looking for. We'll wait for the correct DPK to join. Will the real DPK please stand up? Please stand
DBK,
up.
I hate
Please
that
stand
kid.
up.
Oh, hi, DBK.
Hello, DPK.
Hola.
So we're just having, again, kind of a light session. If you guys have D&D questions, just throw them into the chat. We'll get them answered. But we're kind of just discussing backstory, stuff that we have done already in the campaign. But as we are approaching one of our biggest episodes, episode 69, next week. We are on episode 69 next week.
Yeah, we're going to have an orgy.
I mean, I leave that to you. Ellie can take Bright Axe and go
Herbert's
into...
getting summoned.
Oh,
I don't know if you want to do that, but yeah. Okay.
Hello, Ouch. It's been a while. Why?
So yeah, I mean, whatever you guys want to do. But yes, it is episode 69. So let's have everyone kind of introduce their characters too. We introduced the people today. We'll have a chat with them from both the player and the character perspective. But Ranger, introduce your character.
I play Leo. He's a ranger. Or sorry, hunter. Why do I always say ranger? I'm an idiot. No, he's a ranger.
No, it's a ranger.
Yeah, he's a ranger. Yes.
Ranger is a ranger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hunter is World of Warcraft.
Fast.
Ranger is D&D.
I know. I can. Not much known about Leo, honestly. I mean, we haven't really delved too much into his backstory. He's a newer character to the group. I don't really know. We haven't really covered too much about him.
We have not.
So,
do you remember when Leo joined? If you want to at least give that as when Ranger joined the group, and
well, he joined right when they were going to the Coliseum to have their big fight. For reasons, he needed a clear character, so I created him on the fly. So yeah, more of a character what the party needed, some range damage, that kind of survival specialist, that kind of stuff. So I thought about doing a paladin, but I'm like, I always do a paladin. And last time I did a character for you guys, it was a monk. So I was like, I haven't played a ranger in a while. And then kind of let these guys pick like everything, like what kind of ranger was going to be and that kind of stuff. So yeah, but I've done a little bit of his background. We've heard a few things on the year break, but we haven't really gotten into anything. So he's more of a man of mystery.
He is.
We know he hunts. We know he hunts demons and devils because he has a scar from one. So, but yeah, we haven't really gotten too much into his backstory.
Yeah, and then even during the year off in game that we had, Leo kind of went on his own expedition while the rest of the group was kind of working on Kegheim. He had gone for his own hunts, which came back with the whole thing about ice giants. And that leads us to, next up, Corinth. If you want to introduce your character and Havlin's backstory that we have.
Hello, I am King Hadlin Brightaxe. I am one of the founding members of Poor Decisions. From what Hadlin was actually born not on Wildemount. He was born in the area.
Dirt.
He was in the area of Marquette, specifically Drusar, but he wasn't there for very long, and he ended up coming over to Wildemount in Zadash with his mother and grandmother on an airship, and has been there ever since. And yeah.
And
That's
there
pretty
was
much
a
it.
really nice reference in the last episode, if you guys missed it, to Havlin's mom and grandma. Which honestly, even as DM, when Havlin said that, it welled up a little bit. It was you crying, not me, but still, it was happening. So, Hadlin also has some fun encounters that we've had so far. There is the now very famous, I'm not even going to say infamous, it is just famous, Hadlin running through a wall. That... How has that impacted Hadlin moving forward since that incident?
Oh, it has greatly impacted him. It not only is it one of his most favorite titles, but he's kind of adapted that philosophy in many situations. You might say if he just sees an obstacle and it seems impossible, he just says, "All right, well, I'm just gonna take that obstacle and I'm gonna run straight through it, so it can be broken down." So that's definitely become part of Hadlin's character.
Mm-hmm. That it definitely has. And then we have one of a... Well, I'll let you explain the relationship with Hadlin, Miss Ouchie, to your character.
Wait.
With Hadlin or Brightaxe? Let's be specific.
Well,
here.
Right. Yeah.
both.
Which one are we talking about?
Both.
Is Brightaxe getting his own bio after me?
We'll let Corinth give Brightaxe a little bit of a bio too. But
Now
we'll start
or later?
Now
Later.
or after?
We'll do after. We'll start
Okay.
with the.
Because technically Brightaxe came later in the story, so maybe she should
did.
say her relationship with Hadlin first.
Well,
'Cause
the other thing
technically Hadlin
is
came before Brightaxe. I'm just saying.
Hadlin did come before Brightaxe, but Brightaxe's true history is still a little bit of a mystery to all of you.
Oh
So-
yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's true
I-
too.
Yeah, I love that about it for sure.
Yes. So we'll go to Ellie next.
Well, I always introduce myself like this. Hi, I'm Elione. I'm a very high elf blade singer. She is probably still technically a part of the Cobalt Soul.
You are. You even helped set up the Cobalt Soul in Kegheim.
I did. However, she's not. She was a professor of sorts there, right? So she taught classes and did, learning things and research. She has a background that Leo, Ranger's character, tends to bring up occasionally, and she's always like,
All the time.
ixnay on the incest prey. Thing.
I don't know if the Pig Latin makes that sound any better. When you start
No.
off with
It sounds
incest.
actually worse. Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna start
I
using
don't
that.
know,
I'm
'cause
gonna
she
start
doesn't
using that
wanna
in
say
game. Oh, Rince's pay.
I know, but when you
Elione.
start off with something incest prey, it just you're better off just saying princess. It's worse than Pig Latin.
Okay.
I mean, maybe
stop the stream and
Rincess,
rewind
yeah.
it. What are the rules for Pig Latin when the beginning sound of a word is two consonants?
No,
though?
you have it correct. It's
Okay,
the
cool.
the syllable
incest
you move
prey.
to the end. You had
Right,
it
okay,
correct.
so
It is
just
incest
delete
prey,
this
but
part. Just delete this part.
Haha, too late. Suck it.
Anyway, she has issues about that maybe even she doesn't even understand why she's got issues with that. She doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to be called princess. She doesn't. And yeah, it's probably not too clear why, even to her. But she does have, parents who, her mom especially, excuse me, has this wonderful spell book that she's still trying to work through. She tends to want to use magic more and not be in the middle of a fight. But right now she's learning more about the more blade part of the blade singing and trying to cause a lot of damage in fights. And she, one of her brightest, most, promising students was a little rapscallion named Hadelin. So Hadelin was there for some time, and she taught him some magic. His first cantrip, is that what we said? Something like that, I think.
Yep.
So she knows him from then and was very fond of him then. Happened to come back into the story when they were looking for some help with stuff that happened many episodes ago. And she just ended up deciding to take a sabbatical from the Cobalt Soul and join up with the group. But I don't think she ever wants to go back, so I'm not sure. That's why I was saying before, I'm not sure if she's still technically wanting to.
But there's no necessarily going
anywhere.
back. You can always stick with your chapter of the Cobalt Soul, aka Kegheim.
Right.
So.
Right, because when
Yes.
you're at that high of a level, you really don't have to do any work. It's all in name only.
Yeah, you have Lumen to do it
By
all for
high,
you.
she means really, 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 really high.
Right.
I mean, you have Lumen to do everything for you, right? So.
Exactly. He's my minion.
Mhm.
I like to verbally abuse him,
Yes, we know.
and
Mhm.
I've been thinking about her a lot lately, so I could go on for an hour, but I'm going to shut up now. Did I answer all the questions?
Did
Yeah.
a great job, Ouchie. Way to go. You
Yep.
did a great job.
You gave a good
I-
intro to.
I know the sentiment, Ouchie. Very, very good. Very good.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think also joining us, I think he's back, is Grim. Is Grim here? Grim, for some
Hi,
reason. Grim, you have. Why are you still invisible on your camera?
Because I still haven't managed to get it to freaking work.
Oh,
What part isn't working?
The good
It's
part.
just not working. I plug
What's-
it in with all the software and it just does it comes on,
Is
but
the
there's
better
no
question
video.
what
It's
does
all
work?
black.
Your
Yeah,
camera
more like
is
what
not
does
working?
work. Yeah, my
I got an
camera is
idea,
not
Grim.
working.
you got to pull off that tape that you've covered over your webcam lens.
You don't happen to open Zoom first, do you?
No.
Can you activate your camera in Zoom and see if that works? Forget the.
Dude, I
Nothing?
spent like 3 days trying to get this sucker to work.
Okay.
I don't know what's up with it. I'll have to wait until I can buy a new one.
You find out. Do you have a Five Below near you? You can get a webcam for like
I
I
$5.
don't
got
even know what
Five
that
Below
is.
on it.
So Five Below is a store where everything is kind of like, it's not actually below $5, but it's like $5 to.
I got a better idea. Grim, put a webcam on your Amazon wish list.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, it's almost like a king might give you.
I didn't want to hear that. Yeah.
Hold on. I think I have an extra one I can send you.
An
Well,
extra
look,
one.
DPK is looking right now.
He literally might have a webcam lying
I-
around. He's looking.
I legitimately
Wow.
do.
I
So-
definitely do.
So
Come
what
on, Grim,
did
use
you
the
did you
webcam.
did you decide to stop using your porn filming room or
No, it's still there. He has the sheet covering it behind him.
Yeah,
It's
sorry
behind
you were
there.
asking for that one.
yeah, I can find it and
Oh, Corinth is holding
yeah.
one right now.
oh, there you go. I was
Let me
gonna
see.
say I
Logitech
have
ones,
a
huh?
it's a Logitech cheat like
You know,
low
I
end
should
from like 5 years ago.
have remembered that when I was up over there. Corinth.
That's a
Just
good
brought it
point.
home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think of it then either.
I think you have to go visit Corinth again, Grim.
Uh,
Yep.
I have been craving a Mexican pizza.
This is the way.
Dude, so good. Such a good freaking restaurant, man.
All right, so we have Grim here now. Say hi to everyone, Grim.
Hi.
Okay, now let's have you introduce who your character is.
He's this like orc guy.
Yes, good job. Well, that's all we need to know about Grim.
He likes taking
the
more
strolls through the
important thi-
forest.
No, he
The
doesn't.
And-
more
That's
important
bullshit.
thing
That's
to
straight
know
bullshit.
is Drom's mom has got it going on.
Yeah, she is pretty hot. But no, I play Drimzal Turin, who is, of course, an orc cleric of the Raven Queen.
Mm-hmm. And then we just started going into backstories, so we can hop to Drum as he's one of kind of the original characters, and then we'll go to DPK. So you want to give a little bit of kind of just at least some of the highlights, Grim, that we know about Drum in his backstory so far through the campaign.
Wait, what was that? Sorry, I was right in the middle of typing. How come when we're live streaming, everybody's like, "Oh, hey, let's message Grim"?
Oh, that's a good idea. I forgot. I need to message Grim.
I need to message Grim too.
Oh my god. So, I'll go on a tangent if I continue. Okay, Grim, can you give a description of some of the highlights of Drum's backstory for everyone?
Oh man. Well, originally, it has changed, of course, since things got flushed out. But originally, he was an orphan. His entire tribe up in the northern highlands got pretty much annihilated by a rival clan, and he thought he was the only survivor. And when he was a kid, he got rescued by, oh man, what was her name? Sadisol, that's the name. Well, the high priest, well, at the time, not a high priestess, but now high priestess of the Raven Queen. And pretty much took him under her wing, trained him to be a priest and a cleric. And
Pun intended, I see. I see what you did there.
But and then we just in the past, like, I don't know, what was it, 4 or 5 sessions, found out that his mom lived.
True, I was there.
Yeah, so and now he also found out he has a sister.
Well, yeah, and that the finding of you by the now priestess of the Raven Queen wasn't as much of an accident or coincidence as you may have first thought, as there was a history between Drum's mom and Sadisol. So we have that as a backstory for Drum, and then our newest character, DPK, if you want to introduce your character once you finish your munching. Nom nom nom.
I'm eating popcorn.
Oh, be right back.
I can't do the voice right now because
No, you don't have to do the
mouth
voice.
is all
You're
buttery.
introducing as your character.
But-
It's fine.
I play Highlight Copperhair, and I think only Leo and Reed really know anything about Miss Copperhair. She's a Harengon bard. They stumbled upon her in Igjula's dungeon?
Yeah.
Long story short, Hylik was one of Igula's first necromantic creations. And I think that's about all that I've really said on stream.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We've been rather busy.
Yes. Escaping the dungeon.
Mm-hmm. Escaping the dungeon and letting the other lore roll out.
Yes. All right. So with that, if you guys in chat have any questions, feel free to post them in there. Whether it's D&D, whether it's specific to the players and theirs, feel free to post any questions. But we'll, Corin. So it'll be kind of in general. Whoever has a question, you guys can just post it. Otherwise, we'll just kind of go around and just ask certain things. There have been some events, especially lately, and there are other things going on with Kegheim that I think of are important. So we'll kind of just go, as we say at RSG, around the corn and see what some people have going on. So we'll start with Ranger. Leo was gone for a year and did ice giant hunts. So what was Leo's motivation to kind of go on his own? And
No, it wasn't an ice giant.
Yeah, I want to go on ice giants.
I thought he was the one that had fought ice giants and came back and
in
told
the
you.
past. Yeah, I mean, I lived in the north. Yeah, but no, that the year was. Remember, we had the whole thing with Leo went on a kind of a hunt for certain devil.
Oh, you went on the devil hunt. That's right, not the ice giant hunt. Correct. Sorry.
Right.
So what was the motivation then behind going on your hunt
it's
for a
just
year?
part of. I mean, we kind of made a part of his something he had to do for his village, his family, kind of a thing that they do. Something that was kind of required. So he went after, the great hunt. So they pick a target and he has to go and try and stop some kind of evil. In this case, what did we say it was? You gave me a specific demon that he went after. He did take it out, but he got injured in the process. That's how come he has the scars, the 3 claw marks on the side of his face here.
Yes.
Where he got hit.
I have to find the name of the demon that I gave you. Because yes, there was a story behind that.
But that was the main thing, but we didn't dwell too much into it. It's just why Leo had to go and what was up and, those kind of things. So, but I don't think we ever got into like specifics of anything else. What the hell was the name of that damn demon?
I know. I have to find what happened with the demon now. Because I thought that was more your backstory, not the year, wasn't it?
No, that was the year. Yeah, the backstory was something we haven't really delved in too much into.
Yes.
Because literally when we created Leo, it was right before we took the year thing off. I mean, he literally was there and they did the one thing and then it's like, a year later, the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Hold on. Where is it? Thought I found it. I'll have to find it again. I had forgotten about the demon.
The demon.
Yeah, I have to see where did I... Okay, well, with that, I'm going to try to look that up now while we're discussing. But then for Corinth, I think one of the things that is kind of ongoing is the tree that you had planted in Kegheim. If you want to give a little bit of reasoning behind why Hadlin planted the tree, what is the importance, and what he was hoping to accomplish. I know we talked a little bit about that when it first happened.
Sure. Yeah. So the tree is a seed or a seedling. I don't remember exactly what you said. I think it was an actual seed.
Yeah, it was a seed.
that we received from Eleone's parents, or at least her mom more specifically, if I remember correct, that it was a gift for Hadelin's coronation of Kegheim, or as installation as king of Kegheim. It was or location of Kegheim, something like that, if I remember correctly. But I know it was at least a gift, and to do with Kegheim specifically. How about that? That would be more the phrasing of it, I guess. And we planted it on what's known as the Day of the Forge, where once a year the ley lines that are located where Kegheim is in the Graying Wildlands kind of align with certain celestial bodies in Exandria in the sky, like stars and the different moons and stuff like that, and it creates a time when Kegheim is resonates with power. And that was the day that not only on the first day of the forge that we got, that's when Bright Axe was forged. But on the next year, after the year break we took, on the second day of the forge is when I forged Drom's belt, and we planted the seed that became the Golden Lumen Tree. The Golden Lumen Tree was kind of Hadelin's belief of like unity and connection, and kind of his representation of where he now has the Fey Touch dwarf, as when that seed was kind of planted in Kegheim, it kind of changed not only Hadelin forever, but it kind of set what Hadelin wanted Kegheim to be on its journey, like the path he wanted it to go down. I think I kind of got it. And the tree itself is, obviously, like its name is kind of shines with a dull light. Its leaves can be used to create a metal ore, and that's what has been used in tradition since then to make the different items.
There you go. And that tree has slowly grown over this time. And as a little hint, we'll see what happens with the tree moving forward.
It's beginning to grow on us.
Hush, you.
It was at this moment Grim was forever banned from the room.
All right. Grim. So he is no longer kind of with the group actively, but there was a relationship between Drom and Balin, who was my character when we first started the campaign.
Little brother.
Yes. So if you want to go a little bit into that, because Balin is doing missions for the Raven Queen currently, but he does periodically come back as needed. So if you want to talk a little bit about the relationship with Balin that Drom has.
Yeah, he grew up. I'm so proud. Soon he'll have little balloons as well.
Oh God, not from anyone he finds down there, I hope. God damn.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of succubuses down there. So,
I know. That's why.
And Balin loves touching things.
I mean,
Oh my gosh.
You're welcome, Ouchie.
Yeah, so you want to go a little bit in their relationship?
Oh, I mean, they met growing up as like kids at the temple, eventually, becoming priests themselves, working up to it. I don't know. We really didn't flush out too much of their growing up.
Well, he came later too, right? Because you had a relationship with another character that is currently missing in action.
Yeah.
Which is one Ashira.
Yeah, who's probably dead.
Well, last you checked, she was alive but surrounded in darkness, is what you saw.
Wasn't she in a,
Watch, she was-
a coffin in darkness
Yeah,
or
I was
something?
gonna
like?
say it
Yep.
was a coffin in darkness.
Yeah.
And wait
Yep.
a second, didn't we just like annihilate something that was in darkness in a coffin? In the
That was a
last
mummy. That was a mummy
dungeon?
lord.
Sorry. Would have been fun.
See, see,
I know.
Ouchie got
You all
the
like
reference.
you all like prep everything, open it, and then you all just like super kill a shit.
We annihilated that thing.
You did. You totally annihilated that thing.
That was a bonding moment right there.
No,
It was.
meanwhile, the nice mummy guy that was going to help us. My final good deed before I go. But no, they wouldn't let me.
It was gonna help you against the eye, but no, you just killed it. You pulverized it before it even had a chance.
Oh, thank God these guys can finally free me. I can help them out. What did they wait? What's this? What did they
We had a lot of aggression we needed to get out, I think. We took it all out on that thing.
There's some
ticking.
anger
was
management
the-
issues going on there.
It was the ticking. It was driving us all crazy.
But it was the ticking and then also the hags coming out of the walls periodically.
Yes. Hags.
Yeah. Poor Reed. Johnny's not here, but his character is very much into being stealthy. But there are ways around seeing through stealth, and I think the hags were getting to him. Because they were detecting the magic of all the magical items that you guys have on you. And basically spotted him in a general area without needing to visually see him. So I know that was driving him a little nuts with that. But yeah, so Drom did have originally as children, right? Drom was basically raised with Ashira in the temple, and then Balin came over afterwards as he traveled all the way from Islera, which is all the way on like the west side of Exandria. Well, depending how you look at it, because it's circular, but we'll say west based on the map that we typically see, and headed all the way around to Wildemount. And then proceeded to go to the Raven Queen Temple where he was told to go, and proceeded to learn under Sadisol, like the rest of them. And it was funny. I think it was Corinth that had mentioned he went back and remembered Balin had died once and had to be rezzed by one Drom.
Yeah, that was expensive.
Did he ever pay you back for that?
Nope. Actually, wait. Yes, he paid me back in depression and suffering.
I believe there
not
may
paying
have been the phrase of "pay me back or go to hell." So Balin went to hell.
Well, he's in hell.
Yep, he decided to take option 2.
I'll be right back. Sorry about that.
So there was a history with that, and yeah, Drom and Balin kind of grew up with Ashira in the Raven Queen Temple. And if you guys checked out some of the early episodes of the campaign, the 3 of them were pretty much the Raven Queen group. But interestingly enough, I will have to say, there has been an interesting adaptation to the Raven Queen for the group, even many that never really followed her. So, Ellie, I know coming in, you were never really associated with the Raven Queen.
Nope.
But there's a lot of Raven Queen stuff going on. In fact, there's a Raven Queen temple inside of Kegheim. So how has
Incredibly.
Ellie adapted to the Raven Queen?
Well, I don't think she's too bothered by anyone's sort of religious path. And, of course, she likes Drom. And Bruce. Bruce was...
Mhm.
Did we talk about Bruce yet?
We have not talked about Bruce yet.
What
Okay,
a
well-
great time to introduce you.
Yeah,
Leone, man,
there's no-
she's hot stuff.
Well, thanks, Bruce.
Mm.
My pleasure.
I hope you're doing well, Bruce? You
Well,
doing
I
good?
pulled a hip muscle the other day. I won't get into it. Let's just say Kama Sutra sucks.
Were you trying that in a bird form? Or, never mind. Anyway.
Well, I met this owlbear, and I was, well, why not?
Oh no. This isn't Baldur's Gate 3. Come on.
We have quite the history with Baldur's Gate. Okay, and owlbears.
But yeah, no problem with the Raven Queen, Queen, not Cream.
The Raven. That is, oh my god.
Mm,
Hadlin, that is something to market. Raven cream.
it's an ice cream stand right outside the
Mhm.
Raven Queen's temple.
Are you dead? Do you get
Blessed
dry,
ice
itchy
cream.
skin?
Yeah. Ellie's very thankful that the Raven Queen sort of intervened to help save Drom's mom. It was nice. And, all prevent us from further dying. There's just one person in that place that Ellie isn't too fond of, but that's not really it's not the Raven Queen's fault. This person exists, I wouldn't think so.
She has been
Yeah.
somewhat helpful, though.
You'll never get Ellie to admit that.
I'm aware. That much I am aware of. It is funny though. So Ouchie brought up the fact that the Raven Queen got involved in the saving of Igjula. But we won't get into that yet. I want to ask first something of DPK and Hyluck. What was the hope of Hyluck with Igjula? Hyluck was very cautious kind of through that fight. There was, of course, the necromantic form of Drom's dad that was going around. But what was, I guess, Hyluck's mindset in that fight?
She was very uncertain. She did not want to lash out because, like we had stated, she was the first necromantic creation, had always treated her well, even though her guards had not. I showed, I think, most of the party the scars on my back, or on her back, from torture and whippings. She did assist in the fight, but she didn't do anything.
You weren't actively aggressive in the fight.
Right. She was very. She didn't, like I said, she didn't want to anger Igjula because she did still very much look up to her.
Mm-hmm. And I think that was a telling interaction, I think, between Hyluck and Igjula. When I think Hyluck didn't realize that Igjula had nothing to do with the beating part of it.
Right.
And when it was revealed to Igjula that there was the beating, there was a surprise to Igjula. Now, obviously,
Correct.
Hyluck has to decide whether or not she believes Igjula, right? But at least on its face at the time, there was a general belief that she was honestly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And as we kind of went through the whole discovery process with Igjula, and you all talked to her after the intervention by the Raven Queen, which we will get to, she kind of revealed a lot of things to you guys, which is she was very much focused on one thing, trying to bring back Drom's dad, and kind of completely disregarded everything else. Not anything malicious, but literally just, if I don't see it, I have plausible deniability kind of thing, right? And so she was just very focused on that one task, which Rightfully so. I think in many ways, a lot of the group found her intentions to be evil, though she didn't necessarily see it the same way, although there were evil consequences coming out from that. That being said, the Raven Queen interaction in that fight was something I can say, even as a DM, was not anticipating happening. It definitely changed the fight quite a bit.
That was thanks to the freaking viewers. That's why.
It was.
Yep, thank you, loyal viewers, with your generous charity donations.
Yeah. Saved our butts.
Yes.
Saved my mom's butt.
Maybe your guys'
and
too.
ours, yeah.
Don't forget the way that she killed Drom's dad was with a power word kill. That if not,
yeah, but I didn't have to worry about that. She's not about to kill her kid.
You didn't have to worry about it. You know, you have other people with you.
Right.
Minor technicalities.
It's not all about you, Drom.
Or what Drom would have been faced with had one of us killed his mom. I mean,
Yeah.
that would have been a really rough thing to reconcile.
There were a lot of things going on there. What was that, Ranger?
Yeah.
Now, after she tried to kill him multiple times, it's like, I don't care at that point. She tried to kill my Triceratopus. I love that.
She did.
Or Triceratops.
Lucy.
Yeah,
Lucy,
she did
that's
try to
right.
kill Lucy. That's true. A lot of the killing, however, was being done by Drom's dad, which I have to say was a really fun enemy to design against you guys.
Sorry to make you-
I
no.
will say, screw that guy.
Sorry that I made it to where you couldn't really play it very much.
No, actually, he did a lot during that, it was like 3 or 4 rounds that we actually got in. So yeah, it wasn't a whole lot of time. Like, this interaction in game time was about less than 30 seconds. But
I was gonna say he also liked to pick on Hyla. He did a bunch of damage to her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was going around, and yeah, High Luck initially was a target because, you were an escaped project of sorts.
Right.
But then as others got in, there was a particular focus on Reed, who had become a danger.
Right.
And so yeah, there was kind of a shift in him. Started with High Luck for sure. And then, of course, there was a Triceratopus that suddenly appeared inside.
Her name is Lucy.
Well, wasn't it first supposed to be a whale?
It was going to be a shark, I think, at
I
first.
know, but
Yeah.
I was like,
that's a-
that's stupid.
Actually, the shark was a lot cooler, if you ask me.
It would have
Yeah,
been
like,
funny.
it
The
was
shark
like,
just shows
this
up
is
and just
pretty
flops
fast.
around.
Freaking shark with
Yeah.
a freaking laser beam attached to its freaking head.
And the shark died.
I think it would have 2
Didn't
turns
want
out
to.
of water.
Can't breathe.
It would have 2 turns out of water, I think.
It would have been able to.
Yeah, but it would be like a magic card.
Yeah, wherever
Just
you
like
put
a
it, it would
magic
just be like chomping at itself, and that's it.
We would have called it Magikarp. Magikarp, you splash.
Mhm.
Someone would have to create water around the shark just to keep it going.
God.
But really, when you think
Oh,
about it,
that would be cool.
Mhm.
that's actually fitting for us, though, for shenanigans to happen. And
Yes.
the shark was shenanigans. It would have been
was.
so hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been just let go.
Which, if you guys don't know kind of what happened with that, there are 2 weapons in the game that we have designed as more viewer interactive weapons. They are on the 2 bows of our rogue and our ranger. And so Ranger's weapon actually has the ability to summon a creature, a beast, and Reed's bow has the ability to cast a spell. Both of which get powered up, and we're going to give kind of more details as we go along on how you guys can help improve the power that they're able to use during combat. Right now, it is all kind of linked with the Tiltify campaign for our charity. And so, depending on, how all of that goes, then the idea is you guys can donate to the Tiltify and help boost up their weapons, which you guys did during that stream, which I want to say, it changed a lot of things with the number of rerolls that you guys granted. Of course, powering up both Leo and Reed's weapons. it did have an impact overall. So that was also a lot of fun. Was there anything else that I kind of missed that you guys thought about that fight in particular? I know it was a little bit of a challenge. There were things being thrown at you, but you went in a very different way to actually save the enemy, which doesn't happen too often. And the fact that you guys actually saved it was impressive.
Usually not a player character's mom.
Yeah. Not only an enemy, but it was a player character's mom. That is correct. Who had been basically corrupted. Hi, Desi, by the way. By the way, I didn't think I shouted out Kitty Yoda at the beginning. So hello, Kitty Yoda. Hello, Desi. I am reading chat more today because today is more interactive with you guys. So hello. But yeah, the fact that you were able to save her was honestly not something I had expected.
Well, you probably expected me to join her.
Well, there were a few different options. I had planned for you potentially joining. I had planned for, of course, you killing her. There was a plan on what would happen if one or more of you guys died. It was unlikely, I will say, it was unlikely that there would have been a TPK short of you guys rolling ones. Like a crazy amount. There's always that chance if you guys just start rolling ones. Have you even watched
the show?
I have. You guys roll ones a lot, but it's not to the point where you're gonna TPK. There's always a possibility, but yeah. So there was a plan for all of that. The only thing I didn't have a plan for was she's now been saved by the Raven Queen of all things. But going to there was an interesting kind of interaction through that whole combat. Most of you all were very defensive, some on the aggressive side. However, one person did something that I wasn't expecting him to necessarily do, and that was Hadlin. Hadlin basically stood by Drom's side the entire time. Didn't attack, kind of kept his weapon at the ready. Bright Axe could obviously show up whenever, but he wasn't attacking. He wasn't really doing anything to further the combat. So, Corinth, what was Hadlin thinking in kind of that time when he was with Drom?
I think a lot of, like many of us, one of Hadlin's driving forces is family, and he did his best to try and put himself not only in Drom's situation, and if he was to have to do something like that, what choice would he take? Could he even make one? But then also, what kind of like what Algie mentioned, he was really, really concerned on what effect it would have on Drom and the rest of his life, and he didn't really think that option was one that was willing to accept. And so that's where the dwarven stubbornness came out, and he was not willing to change.
And that did make an impact. I will say something that you may not. Yeah, go ahead, Grim.
It was beautiful.
Actually,
it was something.
It was funny though. I was making some rolls outside of the kind of combat itself. There was an impact outside of combat of what Hadlin was doing. Drom's mom had a certain happiness to see that she had at least like a friend like Hadlin who stood beside him even in the most chaotic thing. So it was that was a little more of a semi-planned kind of thing I had based on how you guys all interacted. Did you try to save her? What was going to be the general idea? But to save her after starting combat was not something in the cards. But yeah, so again, and guys, if you have anything in chat, if you have any questions for the group, any of us here, feel free to put them in the chat. We'll kind of just go for a little while longer. Again, today's just kind of a relaxed night, and next week we should be kind of kicking it back into full force. But I'll ask everyone, because I mentioned this, I think, after the stream. I can't remember if I did it at the end of the stream or afterwards.
I'll be right back. I gotta get some water.
Yep. So I have given the guys a little bit of a fun project of sorts. There is the opportunity for them to go into the water. And of course, we've talked a little bit about Dark Toe. That has come up in the discussion. And there's always been mention of a particular island in kind of overall their backstories, not backstory, but in their progression so far. They had been to an island with a shark festival and all of that. That is all.
Uka toa, uka toa, uka toa, uka toa.
I can't stop this monster deep inside of me.
Are we having a musical episode or what? Come on.
Pretty official now. Yeah, we are.
Music episode. Musical
That's episode 69. This is like 68 and a half. But
No,
we're
And three
waiting
quarters.
for Kegheim Roads, right, Ranger? Remember I sent you that one?
I'm working on. I haven't had time, man. I've got the kind of the layout, but like I'm trying to fit your words. So country road may take me home. Hopefully. Yeah.
But because there is the option of a sea adventure coming up, they will have a boat. Now, I already have some things planned on how they can get a boat, but one of the things I wanted to let them do, which I thought would be fun, is give them an opportunity to pick some things that they would want to see on said boat. Basically, try to see if you can do a design. Now, ultimately, things have to be reasonable. You're not going to put a bowling alley on the boat just because that's an option, but you guys can kind of have some... Mhm.
Well, if it's just one half lane.
No. But
I mean, there's already a certain feature that Eleone's requested, so I don't know how that's not going to be there at this stage.
How about a
Yeah, what is
halfling
this
size bowling?
What is this about a water ship, Finn? about going in the
It's a
water?
water ship for now.
it is a water ship for now.
But Hadelin doesn't like the water.
King Hadelin's fine with the water. Hadelin doesn't like the water.
Okay.
He
All
will
right.
he will hide that when he is king.
It's not going to be such an easy thing for the rest of us to probably put out of our heads, considering there was like 2 whole episodes where it was knocking Hadelin out, trying to get him drunk to get on a boat.
Yes, and then
the
Ellie
water.
slept through almost all of it. So yeah. But well,
Even though she's, an elf, and she doesn't even need to sleep, honestly.
yeah, she just got into a little bit of a stupor of sort. But yeah.
Mhm.
But with that, I wanted to give the guys an opportunity to kind of pick some things. I know Corinth had some fun designing a lot of different things on the ship. But so, what are you guys thinking in terms of things you would want? I'll leave it as like a general discussion for you all. What are you wanting on said water ship? If there's an option for a different... If it's possible to become an airship in the future, we can always discuss that later. Right now, the focus is water ship.
Going to be like an osprey, right? Or the airplane helicopter that turns into an airplane, or
A boat that turns
The
into a plane.
architects have that in mind.
An
Yeah.
If the
airship.
magic doesn't support it,
Does
just
it have
yet.
its own
Yes.
McDonald's?
it could.
Yeah.
Do you
Lint's
want that?
Sausage Factory.
Don't you mean Keg Donald's?
Lint's Sausage Factory.
Maybe it could
That's-
just have like a sausage vending machine.
No, Lint's got to make it.
Oh my god. That's just the image of a sausage vending machine.
Mhm. Yeah, it just comes out on a big.
kind of
Off a big spool.
So truth be told, if you did that, right, I would assume you guys as the main group of poor decisions would have free access, right? You probably don't have to pay. Only the minions on the boat running it.
Unlimited sausage all
At
the
which
time,
point,
every day.
yeah. You say unlimited. You give Reed 2 minutes and all of it's gone.
That's a good
And it's
point.
even magical, and he made it run out.
Good point.
I don't think a
We'll
sausage
think
vending
about
machine is
that.
gonna last with Reed too much. But I think it is a good idea to have a sausage vending machine. as,
We gotta
we-
eat.
as weird as the
Right.
images are in my head of a sausage vending machine. But yes. But yeah, what else are you guys thinking about? I know there's some discussion already about what to include, but what else are you guys thinking?
A ballista. We need a ballista.
Well, you'll have weapons for
you
sure.
think exactly like I did. That was number 2, Ranger.
Our own special ballista.
No ordinary siege weapons integrated
right.
with elemental magic.
Like, think
Shoot bolts
battleship,
of
like their main
lightning and
guns. We
fire.
have the main 3 shooting ballista that me and King Cadlin get into, and yeah. We have to
That's
go
so
through a whole
great
bunch of
that that's
stuff.
my number 2, and that was Ranger number 1, so we're real close.
So a magical ballista, huh?
And
Okay.
it's got to be an ironclad ship.
Wow.
I did say ironwood is what I used for the wood I chose for the ship, so pretty dang
It could
close
be-
there
Mhm.
again.
Okay.
Okay. What else?
My number
Ellie,
1 was the command bridge. You know,
I think
you
we
gotta
need
have
a-
really cool
Do
command
you think we need like a
like
small
the
area,
Enterprise.
Ellie, for the Cush? A
Well,
Cush command-
Ellie has
like-
plans for a whole little sort of luxurious kind of
Mhm.
spa
Oh,
section. And
Okay.
yeah, there could be like a little hookah lounge in that.
yeah. I
I'm
think that'd be
thinking.
good. Yeah.
Even like maybe if there's a hot tub, then there could be some lounging areas, or we've got like incense burning. Yeah, we got to relax after a hard day of fighting and traveling.
Okay.
So it's gonna be
It's just
there's
my
gotta be-
my vision of this boat is becoming kind of like a sideways mullet.
like the Love Boat. It's
like
gonna be the Love
business
Boat.
at the top
The
and
love boat.
business at the top and party in the bottom is where it seems to be
I
going.
like it. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I can work with that.
Well, shouldn't I? Yeah, I don't know where the fun. You kind of think like you want the cool part to be in the front, right? Like where was 10 forward in the Enterprise? Isn't that right up front?
The way the
Yeah.
Chat GPT said your private retreat, the Celestial Soak, should be tucked away on the ship's stern, right beneath the elevated command bridge.
Yeah, that's
Next
I
to the
agree.
ballista.
I agree.
Desi makes
And I
a
don't know
fun
if it-
suggestion. She said your crew should be special too. Just a whole crew of spider monkeys.
We named them all Jack. Jack, which one's you? Oh, you're the other Jack. Oh.
I think I think it would be good if it could be for all of us. It doesn't just have to be for Ellie. It's just fine to
I'm
share.
giving my suggestions. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Cush, ballista, made of iron.
I mean, I feel like, at least weirdly enough, most of these are reasonable to include.
Well, hell yeah, we're reasonable people. Come
That
on.
is good. Well,
That is not true.
the airship
like
part,
the,
one little, yeah. Go ahead.
I like the war room idea I had, like equipped with a massive table showing a map of the known world, basically, just like a cool like mini area where you can
Mhm.
stand around and talk, kind of thing. I think that sounds kind of cool. Where we
I
can
think that would
plan
be
and-
too.
Yeah, because that just seems like, especially that if it ever eventually does like skyward, that could be we could link that into its travel or something like that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So that would be super cool.
Yeah, I agree. That would be pretty cool. That would make for some really cool, like, commander quarters almost. Okay. Anything else? You guys still have time to work on it, obviously. Something to do between now and next week, probably. Maybe even more, depending how long you guys need before you need any ship. But Yeah, I think that gets us a good start here on the ship. But yeah. So I think for now, everyone can start getting ready for next week's session. At the current time, we are currently slated to be good for next week. We'll keep everyone posted in the Discord. The RSG Variety Gaming YouTube channel is updated with all of the videos. So if you guys would like to catch up, please make sure you guys check that out. All of the campaign videos are set up. We're going to be going to episode 69 next weekend. Episode 69. Yay! Which seems like it might become a musical episode at this point. Which will be interesting for sure. But with that, we'll just go around. I know DPK stepped away. Hopefully he'll be back here in a second. But we'll just kind of go around and get everyone's kind of hopes on what they're hoping to see for their character in the near future. We don't have to go anything too crazy, but just anything they're looking to accomplish in the near future. We'll start with Ranger and what Leo might be looking for.
I don't know. I think he's just kind of in the moment right now. I haven't really delved too much into it because he's a newer character. I mean, he's kind of sitting there as part of the group, so we've got some work to do on that, Finn. So I really more to do with him. So stay tuned.
Okay. Cornin, what about Hadlin?
In the near future, what are Hadlin's goals? Or I definitely want to keep furthering developing Kegheim and kind of furthering its reach, and hopefully maybe introducing some of the Kegheim Adventure Society stuff a little bit more, because I've really had fun sending out the whole job posting and stuff like that we all worked on and did. That was really cool. So I think that's basically coming up here in the near future. So I'm excited for that.
Yes, I had fun when you did that too.
Yeah, there was enough like RP breadcrumbs in there for you for like days.
Just mass sending out this Kegheim is looking for adventures. It's everywhere.
Everyone's like, "What? This place is a fairy tale, huh?"
Grim, what is Drom hoping to do in the near future here as we continue?
I don't know. I get a feeling we're gonna be on Maury Povich here in a little while.
Really?
Finding out who the dad is.
Oh. Who's having a baby?
Not find out who the dad is of DPK's character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Leo, you're not the father. I told you. I told you. Hell yeah, I told you.
Bright ass, you are the father. And then Ellie just
No. It was the
Bright
blood
Axe is
end. It
all,
wasn't the sharp
yeah.
end.
it was the blood.
Oh, to hear the conversation between Bright Axe and Elione would be epic.
Y'all, that's a hammer. I just want you all to know. An axe, not a hammer. It's
both.
It's a thing. It's not a person. Just saying.
All right, so
We got you, Ellie.
What? Hey, what?
She's trying to
you
convince
need to
herself
say to
here. Come on,
convince
she's
yourself.
She's trying to convince
She's
herself.
trying to make her way through the world today. Giving
You
it
know,
everything
denial
she's
is
got.
not just a river in Egypt.
all right, so Grim, what is Drom hoping for then?
Oh, good lord. I honestly don't know, dude. It's been so hectic for him the past, several sessions.
Mm-hmm. And now his mom is getting sent to Avernus.
Yeah. I honestly don't know.
That's fair. There was a lot thrown on Drom's plate here.
Quite literally flying by the seat of my pants.
Well, that makes sense. Drom had a major turning point. He was somewhat the focus of what had been happening lately. So, ancillarily, it was Reed and Hadlin, largely with a lot of this, but I think we figured out how it all ties in for the moment, although there's more to come. And then I think while DPK isn't here, we'll go to Ouchie. What is Ellie's hope? What is she hoping to accomplish kind of in the short term here?
That's a good question.
Well, I can remind you of something you said at the beginning.
Oh
of
yeah. Do that. Tell me.
You want to learn about Dwarven runes?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she wants to. Yeah. Well, first, she would like to survive whatever this thing is that she just got wherever this place is, she just got teleported to with Adeline on their own. That's not a vacation spot.
The test of power, as I think Finn said it.
Yeah. So, I mean, as in the immediate future, yes, she would like to get through that and go back home. And then she would probably like to rest for a while and learn some things like Kitty Yoda.
We'll ask that question. Don't worry, Kitty Yoda.
Why did you? Oh, you just have to put up the picture. Self-explanatory. Yeah, and then just settle into her role and do things for the benefit of Kegheim and maybe assassinate a person or two on the side that annoy her. Not sure.
If you need any assassination
Steal bright
attempts...
axe in the middle of the night. Okay, do you want me to say it?
Okay, there
Fine.
we
go. Adopt a clandestine operation to kidnap bright axe.
Got it.
It might not even be kidnapping. It might be a willing elopement. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If they both turn up missing, it might not be a theft.
Oh my god, I'm just picturing in my head now, like, everything with, what was it, Mjolnir? When when it fell, like, when it left Thor, and it wouldn't come back to him now. Didn't want to talk to him anymore.
We didn't explain, I mean, to our lovely audience why Ellie has this thing for a hammer, a hammer axe?
We have not, actually.
It's an axe.
It's both.
It's a dessert topping and a floor wax. That's an old Saturday Night Live joke, kids. Yeah, well, there was a fight going on, right? It was something very bad was about ready to happen to Ellie. And then King Hadolin did this silvery barbs thing with the move, and I'm not even quite sure how that spell works. Maybe Corinth would like to describe it.
Yeah, it's a unique Elione variant of it, actually. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's a spell that I've never in game used it on anyone else other than Elione. Bright Axe hasn't. You rolled a nat 1 on a really bad save.
I did.
Bright Axe saved you, and it's happened a few more times as well.
Right. So yeah, you get that special feeling for someone that happens to save your life. So, and it was also very it was a good show. It wasn't just saving her life, but it was a visually appealing sort of event. So yeah, and then as we went further, like, she's got a little bit of connection with Bright Axe now. She got to hold him and talk to him, which is special. It's special.
And then to what Corinth said, I think it's true to make note of that. So the way Silvery Barb normally works is whenever a creature succeeds on like an attack or an ability check or a saving throw, you can force them to re-roll, and they're supposed to use the lower of the rolls. Silvery Barbs by Bright Axe work differently on Ellie. So it is an Ellie variant of Silvery Barb that managed to save her from a natural 1 at a bad time, basically. So, yes, it is a a fun variant that we had discussed afterwards. That silvery barbs works in a particular way, specifically with Ellie. And
Well, why is that, I wonder?
And
He wonders.
I've never actually used it. Like, Riot Axe hasn't activated silvery barbs in the normal way either. To my knowledge, I don't think I have.
No, I don't think you guys have used silvery barbs in the normal context yet.
Yeah.
So. All right. I see DPK is back. DPK, we're kind of getting ready to wrap things up here, and we're asking, what is the goal of each of the characters in the short term? So what is Hylux's kind of goals in the short term here?
I mean, right now, the only thing, I guess a couple things actually, is to sit down and have the talk with Drum.
Mm-hmm.
And really outside of that, just become a little more accepted in the group. Get more interaction with the group. She's been kind of chained up / tortured for a rather long time, so having friends is going to be refreshing to her.
That makes sense. So, so we'll go around really quick with some of the questions. So Kitty Yoda asked the first question. We'll go around the corn here. Ranger, why does Drom's mom have it going on?
Well, when a mommy drum and a daddy drum love themselves very much, you kill the daddy drum and she becomes hotter. I rest my case.
Wow.
Roll the tape. Roll it. Let's move on.
I don't think there's any other way to respond. Desi,
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Oh,
those are good commercials. Desi asked, I noticed a few times y'all were talking to someone or something by name, but like y'all were talking to Siri or something. What is that? I didn't remember the name. Okay. So here is what is happening with that. In Critical Role, there is a wizard that runs the magic store in Zadash. His name is Pumat Sol. And yeah, so Pumat has a magical store, and he's basically the magic go-to guy. Hadlin then discovered Kegheim, and Kegheim was going to build its own magic store. Oh my god, DPK. So Kegheim was going to build its own magic store. Well, it just so happened Pumat Sol had a bit of a, we'll call it an experiment gone wrong, that ended up resulting in a odd clone. Now, again, going to Pumat again, Pumat had 4 different Pumats in his store. He basically created multiple clones of himself. And so he tried to create another one, but instead of creating Pumat Sol, he ended up creating Apumat Sol. And Apumat is the one that ended up going to Kegheim. So Apumat is the one that runs the Quickie Magic store in Kegheim. And one of the requests by the group was to have a way for them to communicate with each other without actually talking, right? So he created an earpiece for all of them to wear. And the way to trigger the activation between the two is to start off by saying Apu at the start of anything that you are thinking to trigger the sound. So you will hear the group talking to each other, starting with Apu. Let's go over to there. And then the next one will go Apu. Okay. So that is what you are hearing. They are referring to Apu in order to trigger the conversation with the earpiece. And the word of Apu was actually decided on by the group because Reed thought it would be hilarious to have that all the time. So the trigger word was decided to be Apu. So that is what you are hearing, Desi. Every time you hear them, it seems like they're talking to someone or something. They're talking to each other, but in order to activate the communication piece, that is Apu. Yes, it was a fun way. But they like to go visit Apumat's Quickie Magic, see what's going on. They have some things waiting for him, so yeah. But yes, please feel free to ask any other questions here as we are wrapping it up. But yes, that when Johnny actually decided that Reed was going to be like, yeah, let's just keep it Apu. So Ouchie has a question. It's a good question. We can go around the corn. We'll start with Corinth on this one. What has been everyone's favorite moment in this campaign so far?
This is gonna take some thinking.
Yeah, like it's tough to say like favorite moment, but definitely the most favorite moment recently I'll say would be Aleone rolling all those natural 20s in a row and calling Bright Axe to her hand and dual wielding them. I was pretty excited about that. I had to mute myself. I was jumping up and down. So I thought that was great. But, you know, highlights obviously. You know, first finding like the name Kegheim. Like I really thought that was a super cool name that Ranger came up with for the city. That was and again, kudos to that. That was really cool. And yeah, so finding Kegheim, making Bright Axe. The episodes of the Day of the Forge are like my top, 2 or 3 for sure.
While everyone else is thinking, I can say, at least from the perspective of Balin, my favorite is still Havlin running through that wall. Trying to get to that poor woman. Just trying to get in there. And Havlin just goes in through the wall. That is still my favorite moment from the Balin side. Weirdly enough, from a DM perspective, since I've been doing it, the way that you guys did call the Raven Queen for Igjula, I think is my favorite moment so far. It was unexpected. You managed to save the enemy, save Drom's mom. It was unexpected and awesome at the same time. So I think those are, at least mine, both from a player and a character perspective, my two. Do the rest of you guys have something? I know you're probably thinking. I don't know if Ouchie has one as she wrote the question.
I'll give mine.
You'd think I would, but no, I don't have an answer.
Well, it was just the creation of Bruce. I had to really pull that one straight out of my ass because Finn had screwed up again because he likes to touch shit. And so
I think it was another call to the Raven Queen, right? That we did at the time.
Yeah, I was like, okay, how am I going to play this one? Oh, God.
Bruce is a great creation ranger.
I have a lot of fun with him when we do Bruce moments. Because he's a herald of the Raven Queen. But he's Bruce. So he's got carte blanche to do what he wants until she needs him. So it's one of those things like, she has to deliver a message or go get something done, he will. But other than that, he's like, well, let's go have a great time. Great time.
I know DPK, you've only been here for a little while, but I don't know if there's been anything that's...
Yeah, it's hard when you just start.
Yeah. Not a lot to pick on, but I don't know if you did enjoy any of the stuff so far. Very short.
Well, I'm trying to recall. It was about a year and a half ago. There was I I, I can't remember. I'm trying to remember. It was like a year and a half ago. I was sitting in just listening in on the stream, and you guys were fighting something.
Yes.
Yeah,
We've done that a few times. So go on.
Was when
I'm trying to.
was
And
Ranger
then-
DMing?
You were doing
Yes,
D&D
it was a
thingies.
Ranger DM, and you guys he announced the fight, and you guys all kind of just were like, well, fuck.
That happened a lot too.
Then
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you're gonna have to be a little bit more specific.
Man,
There's a lot of shits in that part of the campaign.
I think it was something that Bad Rongo had said. And now it's escaping me. And I don't.
Was it the
I wanna
fight amongst each other? Was it the
Yes.
the Togar versus Reed?
What?
There was a whole incident
Or was it
during
was
a
it the
watch.
sausage up Reed's nose? That's one that I remember.
Yeah, there was a sausage up Reed's nose.
That's I remember that one now too. That was that was a good one. Honestly, there I've seen quite a few of the D&D streams, but uh it's hard to remember specifics because I kind of had it on as background noise.
Mm-hmm.
thus you were
So-
proving that point very well.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I-
Finn
Hey, a
does
lot
that
of
to
us
us
do
all
that
the time.
too, and we're playing it.
Yeah.
But more recently,
Wake me up when it's my turn.
more recently, the interaction Hyluck has had with Reed and Leo has actually been a lot of fun. Them sitting there talking in code.
Yeah.
That was a lot
my
of fun.
God.
As soon as they started doing that, I was like, "Oh, I got to come up with something good." Because I got the bit, and and then Leo was like, "Wait, did you just say you wanted to kill my dad?" And Reed was like, "No, I think he meant your uncle." That I enjoy stupid stuff like that. Like that I really enjoy the role playing events. Not saying that I don't enjoy the fights, but I enjoy as a avid D&D player for almost 20 years now. I've always enjoyed the
Youngin'.
role playing and the interaction part of it.
Yeah, I gotta
That's
ask,
the best part.
what's up with sending Leo to be the first person in all the time? Touch that, Leo. Go there, Leo. Here, let me put a light on.
Balin's not
Leo.
around. That's why.
No, he was
Doesn't
there.
Leo
We
want
had
to
a
do
room
that,
of
though?
death.
I think Leo wants that.
No,
kind of
he
role, though.
doesn't. Even after that fight, I'm like, I'm not going forward. I actually sat down and smoked my pipe. It's like,
Okay, well, I'll rephrase. Leo wants to do that if it's an activity that he wants to do. If he's not down with what the plan is, then yeah, I'm guessing he doesn't want to be first.
just that
Unfortunately,
dungeon.
as a Gloomstalker Ranger with a alertness, you are the one that goes first. So inadvertently, you get
Yeah,
sent in
but
first.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah,
hey,
but the room of
Rangers
death one
lead
was
the
like,
way,
who's gonna
Ranger,
touch
come
all
on.
this shit? And everyone's looking at me like, what? Me? You want me to touch all this?
the Rangers leading the way. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, apparently so.
Mhm.
Yes, I like to touch death. Let me just see what happens here. Oh boy, we failed. I was waiting when we failed that first time to be like, And Leo died how? Does death come and scoop him up and
We would have fixed it. Maybe.
Grim and Ouchie, do you have any
That's the
favorite
fourth
moments?
time this week. I wonder, do Rangers get like frequent flyer miles for deaths in D&D?
I know, right?
Grim and Ouchie, any favorite moments?
Oh, good lord.
My favorite episode is the Kegheim party one, where I think we were celebrating a year of Hadelin being on the throne then, weren't we?
Yeah, I think that was the one where we came back.
Because it wasn't a coronation.
No,
we didn't do a coronation.
It was
I think
the year anniversary. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my favorite episode ever. I have been listening to all the ones that Finn has done. And I've already said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Like, I kept repeating parts of it, and I have not laughed so hard in years. Like, I wasn't laughing that hard during the show because, you're thinking about other things. But when I went back and just watching as a viewer, I mean, it was 5 o'clock in the morning. I was laying in my bed crying, laughing. Like, it was, if you guys haven't seen it, I think it's like I'll figure it out in a second.
Didn't you throw Reed up a statue or some shit?
I did. It was a dance twirl that went a little too hard because Ellie was getting disturbed at something that she was seeing that she didn't know if she liked or not.
Yeah, a certain celloist.
Yeah.
And Hadelin.
Yeah, and I think we kind of messed that up because she was initially a harp player, but then somehow she became a cello.
Yeah.
And she was kind of a person who was trying to set that up even initially. And then something happened and she wasn't too keen on what was going on. So she got a little too aggressive. And Reed is not, the same height as Ellie. So, yeah, they were dancing and something happened and Ellie kind of snapped.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess you could say Reed is half the height of Ellie.
Probably, yeah. I'll get it for you in just a second, Desi. I'll grab it off the list.
And I believe that was the night that the Dwarven Soldier Boy was invented.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and I rolled a natural 20 on the performance check to dance.
Yep.
Correct.
You dominated that dance so much.
I ran through paper that kind of looked like a wall that the magicians doctored up a little bit, and I'd have entrance like a WWE guy.
It's this one. It's called Party in Kegheim.
It's the poster is a picture of Hadelin doing the soldier boy through a wall, going, "Oh yeah!"
See, that was one thing that I thought would have been hilarious is if we had some kind of ceremonial wall. Maybe for year 2 celebration, we can do this. Just like when a football team comes on the field, how they break through something.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have Hadelin do that
crash
when he comes up on the stage.
Let's just hope he never rolls a nat 1.
Ben and I actually had discussions about that. Ben was like, do you actually want it to be a real wall, Corinth? I'm like, I don't really want to fail on a run through a wall on my 1-year anniversary of being a king. Let's not do that.
So we made it a magical one.
Cool.
Yeah, here's your King Helen.
All you hear is, "I'm coming."
Flat.
And the guy just sitting there going, "And here comes King Helen. Third time's a charm."
I think that not only was it a fun event just in the story, but I think it's also an episode that just really illustrates what a great group of people we have and what a good job everybody's doing and Finn is doing as a DM and all of us being able to kind of break character for a second and say something funny, but it's still not messing up the story at all. We're all really in it. And, it took a long time, I think, for me to kind of find what I was doing when I joined this game. So it's just a great episode for a lot of reasons.
Mhm.
And it gets me kind of emotional.
Top that, Grim.
Yeah, dang, that was good.
I can't.
That's okay. We'll come
Oh,
back if you can think of
It's been fun, dude. It's been fun, all of it.
Well, there you go. Grim has gone with everything. So
I mean, you know, the fun times have outweighed the bad times,
that is always the hope with D&D.
and there's going to be more fun times and much more shenanigans.
Yes.
So stay
Oh,
tuned.
you can definitely count on the shenanigans.
All right, we're gonna get some other questions here. Kitty Oda asks, "What is the next village you will burn down?"
All of them.
And Ouchie, to answer your question.
I was gonna ask that one next. I just wanted to get...
Okay.
I think it's gonna be Dark Toe, right? That's what we're talking about.
Dark Toe
Might
or
be
Shady
Dark Toe.
Creek Run?
Yeah, it's
If
one of the
it's-
two.
It seems to be
I
in
like
that
the
direction.
idea of Shady Creek Run because it sounds like an HOA, you know, gone rogue.
All right, Ouchie asks, DPK, what made you want to join this insane group? He's insane. You put it in the question.
Oh, well, okay.
The
Answer,
long and the
please.
short of it, like, yeah, I'm, your guys' crazy matches my crazy. I've been hanging out with you guys for almost 5 years now. Know all of you guys pretty well. Played lots of games with you guys, and D&D is just another game, and I've always enjoyed D&D. So I recently had a falling out with my normal D&D group, which I'm not going to get into. But I took a little bit of a hiatus, and Baldur's Gate 3 kind of stoked the flames again.
There you go. We're a consolation prize to Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, next.
God damn it, Finn.
All right. And then DBK has a question. Question for Grim. What was Drom's initial response to Hyluck calling Igjula mom?
Wait, what?
What was Drom's initial response to Hyluck? I am aware. I'm just saying it anyway.
Like, what? I guess I meant his more like his reaction. Like,
Yeah.
what was his initial thoughts?
Exactly that. Wait, what? How?
Say, oh,
Who? What? Oh, can't be.
we look nothing alike. What are you talking about?
I didn't know my ears were that big. So that is where we had left off last session. So we will see. We had a little bit of conversation there. We had Hadlin and Ellie going into the portal. So we have stuff that we're picking up from next time. Kitty Oda. So what DPK is saying is that Baldur's Gate 3's bear was brought everyone back together. Oh my god, that bear scene with Baldur's Gate 3. Just...
Don't watch past the squirrel.
Yeah, just stop at the squirrel. That's all that matters. Okay. But yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed kind of just hearing some more of the backstories, kind of catching up. We are approaching episode 69, so we've had quite a few sessions here and got to learn a lot about a lot of the characters. Of course, DPK's is the newest one, so we'll learn more about Hyluck as we continue down. But with that, we'll get some last words from everyone and then sign off for this evening. So start off with Ranger.
I am not the father. I told you.
That baby don't look like me.
Corinth.
Right axe is an axe and a hammer.
And hey, Corinth, you forgot something. It's also a snack.
Yeah.
It's true.
Snack.
DPK.
Toss a coin to your Witcher.
There you go. Grim.
Oh, good lord.
And we need to get your camera working soon. And Algie.
Stay tuned, everyone. Find out if Ellie ever is going to get to take a bite of Bright Axe. You never know.
Oh my god. Just a whole scene of Ellie trying to put Bright Axe in her mouth. It's just not the direction.
Oh my!
Okay, I'm hiding under my table now.
Madeline, am I doing this right?
This is not gonna go well. Okay, so we're just gonna end on that note. Everyone,
You get a chance to upgrade Bright Axe. What do you do, Hadlin? I give
Algie
it a
has
longer
turned
shaft.
so red.
I know.
Got a button. It's got a button.
Yeah, so do other things.
Wait, what?
Oh my god. Okay, so with that, everyone have a great rest of your night. Thank you guys so much for watching all the D&D campaign stuff. We hope you guys enjoy it. Please leave any feedback that you guys have. We have a D&D chat in our Discord, which you guys are always welcome to chat in, discuss anything with the campaign or anything in general. But with that, we'll go ahead and sign off. Everyone have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you next week for another D&D episode. Take care, everyone.